Hello guys, Miraki there. If you have been this far, it means you've understood the basics. Now let's get our hands dirty. This video will be a bit denser than usual, but it will cover the most important aspects you need to master about mount. Mount hybridization isn't about mass merging, it's a craft. It's one of the most frustrating features, but also the most rewarding if you know what to do. I'm going to show you my method, the ones that allow to secure high-level mounts for your main heroes. So, sit back, get ready, because we're going to talk strategy. Before we dive into the heart of the matter, one last warning, and it's one of the most important for your mental health and your account. The luck factor in this system is very high. Even when using thousands of mounts, the probability of getting a red horse with a desired red trait is extremely rare. We can't totally control it. This feature is a game that will take time, and hoping to get a good horse on day one is an illusion. The reliability of the result depends on a random system, and this reliability can only be increased over time by raising the skill tree. The golden rule is this: if you are not ready to lose a horse, do not merge it. We secure a base that we improve over time. You must consume with caution. In my opinion, it's better to have an average horse with a very good adornment and a well-balanced skill tree to maximize this new feature. For free-to-play players, the management of merges and the allocation of insight points inside the skill tree must be very meticulous. In the case of heavy spending, we can afford to prioritize both sides of the tree, but for us, it's a precious resource that must be managed intelligently. Never forget that. The first mistake is to want to merge everything without thinking. That's what many did at the beginning, including in beta, and lost a lot of mounts and resources for nothing. We are not going to do that. Our goal is to never lose a trait that we consider valuable. Imagine your mounts are chess pieces. You wouldn't sacrifice your queen for a simple pawn. So, we are first going to identify and secure our queens. We'll start by finding our base horse for the main lineup. Remember, we want to maximize synergies, so we'll target 6 to 9 mounts, keeping in mind the heroes we want to equip. The merge will only apply to horses we are willing to lose, those that don't have interesting traits or that don't fit our needs. This may be the most counterintuitive rule of the system, but believe me, it's essential. The rarity of a horse is important because it gives you better stats, but the traits and its rarity are multiplied in terms of impact. That's where the real value of the horses lies. A blue horse with a gold trait will have a much greater impact than a gold horse with a white trait or a useless trait. Why? Because traits are rare and unpredictable, whereas the horse's stats are a fixed value. So, you must focus first on selecting the trait, not the horse's rarity. We'll keep the horses that have a valuable trait regardless of their base rarity. This is the first step of our selection. The hybridization system has a luck factor that can be mitigated. This is where the horse's temperaments come into play. They allow us to control the process. Horses with a docile temperament have a high chance of transferring a trait from one of the parents to the foal. This is our wild card for merging. Let's say that we have a horse with a mythical gallant trait that we absolutely want to keep. We merge it with a docile horse with no trait. We have a high probability of seeing that gallant trait transferred to the foal and a chance to increase the horse rarity and the trait's level. So we must carefully save all those horses with no trait that we get regardless of their rarity. They are our most valuable tool. Conversely, horses with a spirited temperament have a great chance of generating a brand new trait. We'll use them with a high rarity mount that has a trait we don't want to keep, hoping for a mutation into something more interesting. And then there is the mischievous temperament. This one has a higher chance of atavism, which means the foal inherits no traits from its birth parent. So, if you have a horse with a good trait but a mischievous temperament, it's better to keep it and use it as it is, rather than trying to transmit its trait. This feature really is about knowing when to stop at the right time. You see? You use the tools at your disposal to not let chance control everything. As you progress in merging and upgrading your horses, don't forget one essential point: the skill tree. It's a long and gradual process, but it's our best ally for securing our mages. A part of this tree helps to make the merging process more reliable. By investing in side points, we can increase the inheritance chance to transfer a good trait or the mutation chance to get a new one. That's why it's essential to go step by step, not to merge everything at once to accumulate these points and improve the research tree. Also, don't forget that it's in this tree that you unlock the adornment feature, the true foundation of your power. The power of your troop doesn't just come from the horse itself, but especially from this adornment and the improvement of your units via this tree. The skill you have to unlock is Bloodline Stability level 1 and requires about 500 insight points. A full video about adornments is already available on my channel. Now that we have our rules, we are going to apply a very simple strategy. We are going to build an expected horse profile for each hero in our main lineups. The goal is to give the horse a trait that will amplify the hero's strongest skill. Let's take Mulan for example. She is a hero specialized in might and secondary strike skills. All her skills are secondary strike specialized. The idle horse for her will have might and defense stats, a war grade for example, and a trait like gallant, which increases secondary strike damages. Other options like fierce to improve normal attack or army thunder to increase all damages that are also a good choice. For a hero like Mehmet, a support hero specialized in healing will look for a mount with might and defense stats again. The idle trait will be Lifesaver, which reduces damages taken after healing, or Renewal, which increases Mehmet's healing effect, or Healing Armor, that increases healing received by troops. This maximizes his role as support and troop protector. In summary, analyze your hero skills and characteristics, choose a trait that will amplify their main ability. Don't forget that a horse can have multiplier trait, which opens up even more possibilities. But that's why you have to be patient, methodical, and careful. I hope this practical part helps you see things more clearly. The month system is a real challenge, but by applying these rules, you can truly minimize the risk and maximize your chances of getting the perfect mounts for your hero. The true growth of your power lies not in the horse itself, but in the adornment and in the improvement of your unit via the skill tree. You can check the video about adornment to go further. Don't forget you have a synthesis of traits and effects in the guide below. Remember, stay strategic and patient. Salut!